Yeah, they see me on top and they get mad cause they can't top me. Got me running up the skull when they even matter cause they can't stop me. Yeah, they see them trying to watch me and they trying to copy and it's looking sloppy. Yeah, we about to get it poppin', talking non-stop, can I get a copy? Yeah, they see me on top and they getting mad cause they can't top me. Got me running up the skull when they... Make money, make money, make money, then you take money, take money, take money.
Hello and welcome back to KSB TV YouTube channel. I am your host, Black Hexican. If you guys can hear me, if there's anyone in the chat, maybe you guys can help me out. I don't have a guest today, so no sound check available, but I think that I'm all good. Today is not going to be a long stream. You know, Mondays I try to keep nice and light, solo stream, just kind of do some updates on what I've been doing with the CryptoConvos.eth wallet. Oh, thanks guys. And so that's basically what I'm going to be doing today, just kind of going over the decisions that I've made for the wallet. And then I'm going to be announcing the winner of the Hex Cruise Room giveaway. This is the second giveaway that I've done. This one has been much different than the first one. The first one took like a whole month to do. This one was much more spur of the moment. And so I'm really hoping that I can bless somebody with this giveaway today. So before we get into all that, I'm going to go ahead and do a screen share of my watch list, my deck screener page, just so that we can kind of check in with the prices. I see that Hex had a nice little rebound off of going down, I want to say like a little around 6.5. I want to say that it went down to, let's see. Once I can get something loaded up. So yeah, it went, oh, okay. So we went down to like 6.3 actually, and we've already rebounded to 7 cents. So being that today is going to be my first buy with the new wallet, I'm really, you know, debating as to which way that I'm going to go with it, right? I definitely want some exposure to Hex, but is Hex buy right now? I'm not sure about that. The main reason why I say that is because of these perpetuals. The Lucky and Desi are really the main ones that I'm eyeballing right now. Because if you understand what these perpetuals are, if you're willing to hold them through the length of the term, they are a one-to-one copy with Hex. So anytime that the price is under Hex, it's a pretty good deal. Also considering that once you go to trade these in, you're going to accumulate all the interest, or, you know, I actually don't even know what to call it now. We're going to kind of get into that too, all the changes in how we speak about Hex and staking and yield. But these perpetuals have already been staked. Maxi is a 15-year stake, Desi is a 10-year stake, and Lucky is a 7-year stake. And so being that they've already started, they have a better T-share rate than what I can get, and they have a better bonus because, right, if I go and I stake some Hex today, I'm not going to get the bigger pays better bonus because it's going to be a small amount. I might be able to get the longer pays better bonus, but I'm not going to get that bigger pays better. So I'm considering, you know, making my first purchase either Lucky or Desi. And so when I look at those two options, I see that Desi is even at a discount to Lucky, which to me is surprising. Yeah, I get it's 10 years where Lucky is 7 years, so it's a little bit shorter of a time frame that you have to be committed to it. But you have a bigger bonus on it. So I'm thinking that, you know, being that the price of Desi is cheaper than it is on Desi, then the price of Desi is cheaper than it is on Lucky. And I think that Desi is probably the best buy to be able to get some exposure to Hex, staked exposure, without spending all the gas fees that it would require for me to stake on Ethereum and unstake or in stake on Ethereum. Let's see what Crypto Elite is saying in the chat. Isn't it a risk? Since the price is so much cheaper, kind of risky to buy them. No. What if it's minus 80% when the 10-year ends? Right, but that's what I'm saying. you're still tied to the price of Hex. Even if the price of Deci is lower than Hex, if you're willing to serve out your time, you're going to trade those Deci in back for your Hex plus the interest that's associated with that Hex. So to me, that's not really a risk. Yeah, it's a risk while you're holding it. If you're looking at it as liquid Hex that you can come and go at any time. But if your intentions are long term, is to hold the Deci or Lucky or Maxi all the way through the end of the period, then I feel like that kind of minimizes your risk. And you can rebuttal if you want. We could talk about that a little more, but that's kind of the way that I'm leaning. I do definitely still have interest in Texan, and I'm going to bring that up a little later. Their new project just came out. Can't remember the name of it, so I don't want to misspeak. So I'll wait until I go to Rags's page just to get that correct information. But I do still have a lot of interest in Texan, and I do still have a lot of interest in Hedron. But I feel like my very first purchase after I've now accumulated a little bit of Ethereum, and I'll go to my CryptoConvos.eth wallet. As you can see, we've accumulated 0.22 Ethereum. And my goal was to just hold on to about 0.15 Ethereum. So that gives me about $100 to be able to decide which additional coin that I want to go into. He says, but if the price goes down, where is the Deci then stored? How is it not at parity? These are great questions. I am no, what's the word that I'm looking for? Expert when it comes to the perpetuals and why they're not always at parity. I guess maybe it has something to do with the actual marketing of the coin, right? Because once it becomes a coin, once that Hex was staked in that pool, then it just becomes a coin like any other coin. No, I love the questions because it gives me something to think about. So don't ever be sorry for the questions. But once that Hex was staked, right, then this coin just becomes essentially its own market, right? So it's going to have ebbs and flows, just like any other coin is going to have, based on how much attention, how many new buyers and sellers come into the market. So that's why it's at a discount and it has so much difference when it comes to parity between Hex. But once the stake ends, that's when we can guarantee parity, because you can literally go and trade what you have, your Maxi, your Deci, your Lucky, back into the system, back into the dApp, and just take your Hex back. So that's why, I feel like the risk is not really there when it comes to, what happens if I serve out the whole length of the time and then we get to the 10-year period and this coin is worth less than, what the Hex is worth. To me, it's no fear, because you can just go and trade in those coins back for your Hex plus the yield that's associated with it. So that's kind of my mindset when it comes to that. Let me go back to my deck screener to kind of confirm. And I was looking at let's refresh this. The Gwei. Yep, just like I expected. Gwei is up to 43 Gwei right now. So I probably will not be making the purchase right here live on stream. That's one thing that I'm very mindful about, is not just wasting gas fees, just wasting gas. I try to wait to either the weekends or late at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever, after midnight. A lot of times you'll see that Gwei go down a lot. One thing that I do like to do, though, before I decide, is to kind of go to a couple of different dexes just to confirm the prices. When you look at Deck Screener, like if I go to Deci or Maxi or Lucky, you'll see that Deck Screener is reporting the prices based on the Deci Hex pair, right? So that is typically pretty close to the actual price of what you'd get when you go to the Dex, but the Dex is a lot more accurate. So like if I go over to Uniswap, let's see, we'll do Deci. Deck Screener is reporting the price at 0.0561. The token address just to make sure that we're looking at the right coin. I've already put USDC in just so that we have, even though I'm going to use Ethereum, but that kind of gives us, you know, a easy to understand. Then I'm just going to paste that address in. That's going to show us DESI. Okay, so 1 DESI USDC value is 0.062. Over on Dex Screener, it's saying 0.0561. So you always want to compare that, because what you're looking at here is the pair price, right? Not the USDC value. So that's still a pretty good price. I'm going to compare that to Lucky. And see, Lucky is still a little more expensive. I think that there's been a little bit of green candles since I first opened this up, because when I first got on, DESI was at an even better discount. But to me, I feel like DESI is my choice. It's cheaper. It's a longer stake, which means more T-shares. So that's kind of my idea behind that. So I think that our first purchase is going to, yep, people are speculating. Absolutely, Freddie. Yeah. So I think that DESI is going to be our choice for the first purchase that we make in this new wallet. And then I'll also be looking this whole week at Hedron and Texan, because as you guys know, I'm DCAing about $100 every week, and I want to continue to buy. Might even this weekend do it over the weekend so I can get the best GUI prices. But yeah, probably tonight I'll go ahead and pick up a little bit of DESI. Like I said, I love HEX, but I'm just not interested in holding liquid HEX right now because I know I'm not going to stake it on Ethereum. The gas fees are just entirely too much, especially when you're thinking about a long stake, 10, 15 years. Who knows what that in stake fee is going to be? And being that Richard Hart has been so active on Twitter lately, I'm feeling like on us. I could be wrong. We could all be wrong. It's all speculation. But I do think that V3 is upon us. And so if I'm looking to benefit off of that copy, I'm going to want to get out of Ethereum and into some coins that I know are going to be copied over to the Post chain. So Maxi, Desi, Lucky, Post Doge, all these coins, Hedron, Icosa, I know all these coins are going to play a role over on Post chain. Let's look at my MetaMask. Oh, okay. So that's another thing that I wanted to do. I also had to make the decision between just making the buy, just straight market buying, and then the other option is a limit order. Because I have never made a limit order, and I don't know if they have the capability to do it, but I know that Matcha does. And I've done many, many, many limit orders on Matcha. A lot of times, though, it doesn't really work with small coins, like coins that have like really low liquidity, like your Maxis and Desis. It's better to do limit orders on things like HEX. So that is my other option. Do I just want to do a market buy and just the price that I see right now? Or do you want to kind of play with it and do the limit order, hoping that it goes down a little bit more? Different dexes also pull from different information, and sometimes you get a better price on a different dex. When I was looking this morning, I was getting a much better deal buying Desi on Uniswap than I was getting on Matcha. And so that's one thing that I always like to do before I make a buy. I like to go and compare the price with different dexes. So let's see, we can do a little comparison right now and see if we can get the same price. So let's see, we buy $100 worth of Desi here. We're gonna get a little less than 1,600 coins. If we do it over here, Pretty similar. Pretty similar. So that's good. So then that's when it comes to what are the gas fees looking like. Um, so yeah, I think Desi's going to be the way to go. I don't think I'm going to do a limit order on it just because I want it. I want it now and ready to go. But that is an option that I wanted people to know is available. And I want to say that you save money on your gas fee when you do set the limit order. Matcha is a great site. It's super easy to use. You just go in, you look at what the price is now. What was it? 5.7. So then set it for something like 5.5, maybe even lower. Set that expiration for an hour. I'll normally do like a day or 3 days, and then see if you can get that filled that way. So that is another option that we have. Not going to spend a whole lot of time, going through this. Just kind of wanted you guys to see what I'm thinking. See, it's saying insufficient liquidity. So more than likely, they're not going to accept that limit order anyways. And that's why I was saying it's better for coins like HEX, where you have a lot more liquidity. Yes, yes, yes. We know. Trade at your own risk. See, that warning is no longer there. Yeah. So for something like HEX, I would definitely encourage you to try out a limit order and see if you can get yourself a little bit better of a deal. So any other suggestions out there in the chat about what coins you guys think that I should look into? Do you agree that Desi is probably our best buy right about now? Are you, like Crypto Elite, is scared about the risks that's involved with buying a perpetual? Or do you think that that's probably a good strategy for someone just starting their portfolio but looking to kind of get into that HEX ecosystem? That's kind of where we are with that. Not going to really spend any more time on that because I know what we all are most interested in is the Hex Cruise giveaway. But before I do that, I do want to kind of go over the activity that we've seen from Richard Hart lately. I mean, he has been, I want to say, I'm not going to count it, but it was 10 plus tweets in one day. And we were going, a week, 2 weeks without getting any tweets from Richard Hart. So to me, it's like, either he's feeling the pressure of so much other things coming out. And so he's trying to, bring the attention back to his project or we're near. Those are the two things that I'm really thinking. I want to go down to where he started talking about changing the language, because I think that that's a interesting topic. Let's see if I can find that tweet. Look at this. Look at all these tweets he's been doing over the last couple days. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, he got me with that publishing one. So yeah, let me find the original tweet and then we can kind of dissect that a little bit. So many. HEX staking. Where is it? What should the destruction of your coin perform? Proof of weight mining in HEX be called? It used to be called staking. Check out my HEX staking ladder. What should this language be? Check out my HEX mining burns, whatever. So that's where he first started talking about this idea of not using the term staking. And I don't know if that's because of, the SEC regulations or whatnot, legal, or if he's just, looking for a new narrative. You really can't tell. Because in my opinion, it doesn't matter if we call it staking, mining, minting, publishing, whatever. It's the idea of generating yield. So if they want to mess with the crypto industry as far as creating yield, they're not going to care if we call it staking, minting, mining, whatever. it's just going to be an issue. But for me, I like the term staking. I would hate to go back and now have to, re-educate the space on what it is that we're doing. But another thing that I often think about when I think about this argument of language is how early we are in crypto, right? The reason why this is even a discussion is because we're so early in crypto that language is still being defined. If we were 30 years into something like let's say the shipping industry, nobody questions why it's called a courier service, right? Because all of the leading shipping companies have all essentially adapted this language. It wasn't like they were just like words just come out of nowhere. Like, no, it's the people that are a part of the space that decide, oh yeah, they use that term. They use that term. That's what we do. We'll use that term as well. So we're just so early in crypto that language is just still being developed. And as we get further and further, then you'll see more like agreement with the terms, right? There'll be that giant, maybe Hex is that giant that has established that this is the definition of minting, or this is the definition of staking. For me, Bitcoin has established the definition of mining. So when I think of mining, I think of the things that I've heard Richard say, like bad for the environment and all those kind of things. So for me, I don't want to associate Hex with mining, but we're just so early in the cryptocurrency space as a whole that all this terminology is just being created as we speak. As we grow through this space, people are just deciding what words mean and how they should move across the industry. So I don't really see it as that big of a deal. I know I don't like the term publishing. That is just super strange for me. But whichever way that he decides to go with it, I think that it's just at the end of the day, understanding that, you time lock Hex to receive an incentive, for yield, to get more of it back in return. And whether or not that action is going to be an issue for the SEC, we don't know yet, right? We know that Hex is not a security, but regulations change all the time. So who knows where that all is going to end up. I wanted to also go to Rags's page because he had announced the launch of their new coin. What is it called? Ophir. Yes, here it is. So I'm gonna have to get Rags back on the show so that he can tell us what's going on with the Ophir token. I know that a lot of their mission, we just had Crypto Heartbeat on the show, is to tokenize nonprofits, donations towards nonprofits. So I know that Ophir still goes by that same model, but I haven't had the chance to really dig into it. I never heard anything about like a sacrifice period, so I don't know if it just went straight to market or how that works, but that is another coin that I'm going to be looking at. Any project, honestly, that Crypto Heartbeat is involved in, I want to know more about. So that's the next thing on my to-do list as far as figuring out more about this Ophir coin. Yep. And then the last thing is the Hex Cruise giveaway. Like I said, this was not going to be a long stream. Just wanted to update you guys with what I was doing with my wallet, what I'm looking into. And then I wanted to get straight into this. So I made this post, I want to say Saturday, right? And the reason why I did that is because I had a donor come to me. Oh, put that down. I had a donor come to me and basically say, hey, I want to support you and what you've been doing. I love the cruise. Let's go ahead and try and get somebody else on that cruise. And I'm going to let you decide, how you do it. Do some type of giveaway. So I was like, okay, that's a lot of pressure. I don't know how to go about doing this. But I know that I need to find contenders, right? I need to narrow it down to who can possibly win this cruise. So I posted this tweet, and to me, this was a way that I could have a field, right? People that I know that if you would take the time to do the comment, then you have the intention of wanting to attend. And then that gives me like a group of people that I can say, okay, all these people would be willing to come on this cruise if they were to win this giveaway. From there, I said, okay, let's see who actually is supporting what we're doing. I'm going to throw this little extra caveat on there that if you DM me this secret word, then that to me means that either you want it so bad that you were willing to go back and look at the stream, or you already support what I do and you were already watching the stream. And that way you would have that word to be able to DM me. So once I did all that, I had about 36 eligible people, right? People that I had narrowed it down to say any of these people could win this cruise. So then I called my anonymous donor back and I said, hey, how do you want to do this? Like, do you want it just to be super random? Should we just put all these names on a wheel and spin the wheel? Do you want to select somebody from, these lists of contenders? What do you want to do? And from having that conversation with him, I decided, he gave me some advice. And what he said was, I don't care who wins. I'm not going to choose. I won't choose. He said, but I also don't think that you should just do some random wheel. I think that if you're going to give away a cruise, let's take this down, then you need to make sure a couple things exist. You need to make sure that it's a Hexican, right? That it's not just somebody that just wants a free cruise and doesn't care who they're on the cruise with, but make sure that it's a Hexican that, that you've seen support the community in some type of way. I said, okay, that's great. He said, number 2, make sure that it's somebody that supports you. He said, I'm doing this to support you in KSV, and I would hope that the person that wins is also somebody that has shown you support. I said, okay, well, that's not really something that, I was thinking about, but I definitely hear you, And so when he said that, that really just like got my mind going. I said, well, if I just do this random wheel, how can I ensure that this is, a real Hexican and that it's somebody that supports me in the work that I'm doing or whatnot? And he's like, then that's your answer. Don't do a random wheel. I want you to go through the list and I want you to really look at who is it that you would want to see win this cruise. And so when he said that, I said, well, then if that's the case, it's kind of a no-brainer for me, right? Because number 1, I'm only going to choose from those people who DM'd me that word. And why is that? That's because you either already were showing support, right, by being present when that stream occurred to be able to hear that word, or this giveaway meant enough to you to where you were willing to go back, find that stream, watch it, and find out what that word is, right? So then that got me only down to about 7 people. Then out of those 7 people, honestly, I could have given it to at least 3 or 4 of those people within that group. But what made me decide the way that I decided is because there's been one name that, actually 2, I'm sorry, but this one, since I started streaming, he has been so supportive. I see his name in the chat all the time. When he posted about the giveaway, not only did he comment himself and retweet, but he retweeted it in a way to where his quote tweet basically said, hey guys, this is not fake. This is a legit giveaway. And I want all of you guys to realize that you have an opportunity to win this cruise. And to me, that's selfless, right? To say that I could have just, did my little comment and moved on, but he wanted to expose it to more people. He's also done some content creation. And at the end of the day, it was really about his activeness in my chat. The fact that, he shows up, he's always so supportive and yeah, so, I'm not just going to keep on going on about it. Let me just go ahead and pull up this list. Let's see, where is it? Where I had all the names ready to go on the wheel. See, I was going to do the wheel until I talked to my anonymous donor, and he said, no, that's not the way to go. So the winner is going to be Drix Madison. I think that, you know, you're a great dude. I don't think that you've ever been to a Hex meetup. So I love the idea of being able to, you know, cover your very first Hex meetup. And I just love what the dude is doing for the community. He wrote a song where he gave shout outs to, you know, almost every content creator in the space. I never see him, you know, try to put himself on this pedestal, like retweet me, do this, do that. He's always liking posts. He's always sharing posts. And so for me, it was almost a no brainer that Drix Madison would be the one that wins this cruise giveaway. So congratulations, Drix. I'm going to send you a message on Twitter. I also, honestly, I could have gave it to Freddie because he is also an awesome supporter. But I know you already got a room on the cruise. So we're going to go with Drix. Congratulations, Drix. And I hope to get to meet you on the cruise. And that's pretty much how that went. So if you're upset that I didn't do the wheel, you know, blame my anonymous donor because it was his idea. Anyways, like I said, I don't have a long stream for you guys today. I really just wanted to get on here and just shoot the shit for a little bit and announce who our winner was for today. Tomorrow is going to be great. I'm back with my different guests. Tomorrow is Axe is Alive. And you guys know he brings the alpha, especially when it comes to charting, being that I try to keep it at a very basic level. He's going to give us more of a one-on-one lesson when it comes to reading charts and indicators and things like that. So we'll have Axes on Tuesday, and then Larry Crypto Kool-Aid on Wednesday. And then I'll confirm with you guys tomorrow who our Thursday guest will be. So thank you guys for joining me today, and I will see you guys next time as soon as I find my outro.